Sup guys, it's your boy Justin, back with another Christmas movie review. This is going to be our second Christmas movie review of the year. I bet a lot of you didn't know that this movie was a Christmas movie. I just found out the other day, and it was on Tubi, so I'm like, you know what? We're going to review Invasion USA, which is a 1985 Chuck Norris film made by Canon Films. It's directed by Joseph Zito, who directed the Dolph Lundgren movie Red Scorpion, right? It stars Chuck Norris, Richard Lynch, Melissa Prophet, Alex Colin, and Eddie Jones. Yeah, so this movie is about basically the Soviet pigs invade the U.S. on Christmas Day or around Christmas time, right? And it's up to Chuck Norris to stop them because the people leading the Soviet pigs, the Soviet mercenaries, is Rostov, which is they don't say what his deal is other than he's supposed to be Russian, I guess, and that in the past he tried to assassinate American ambassadors, and he ran into Chuck Norris's character called Hunter, who is an ex-CIA operative, right? And you know, he was given Chuck Norris stopped Rostov, played by Richard Lynch, stopped him from killing American ambassador, but let him live for some reason. Because it was apparently the CIA's idea to let the guy live for some reason, not just arrest the guy, right? Whatever. And he's back, and he's running an operation to attack the U.S. with mercenaries, right? From all over the place. Most of them speak Spanish, but you got some Russian, you got some German mercenaries. There's this one of the mercenaries, I swear to God, was fucking was fucking Charles Bronson. The one of the mercenaries, I swear to God, early on in the film, looked exactly like fucking Charles Bronson, right? And knowing how, cheap Canon Films can be, I wonder if he was doing a movie for Canon Films at the time, and it was like, hey, hey Charles, we don't have enough extras for this scene. Can you come over? Right? So yeah, the premise of the movie is Rostov, Richard Lynch character, with an army of mercenaries, is doing terrorist attacks all over Florida, Miami, right? And it's up to Chuck Norris to take him down. Which Chuck Norris at first, was reluctant to go after him, but they made the mistake of killing his friend. What was his name? John Red Eagle, right? And blowing up his house, right? And almost killing his pet armadillo, which for some reason Chuck Norris abandons his pet armadillo right after the attack. Was like, what the fuck, Chuck? You're just gonna abandon your pet? Yeah, there's also two other side characters in the movie. You have the zealous female reporter, right, who's constantly calling Chuck Norris cowboy, right? And you also have this cop, the FBI, who wants to catch Chuck Norris, right? Because he's a dangerous vigilante, right? He's not, for some reason, the FBI isn't too worried isn't too concerned about the you know, the invasion going on. It's like, what the fuck, right? Yeah, but like, yeah, the movie, the movie itself, right? I wasn't too. The movie's rated R. I should mention that. It's like an hour and like 45 minutes, right? I wasn't too impressed with the martial arts scenes or some of the action movies. Sorry, action scenes in the movie, to be honest. But there were a lot of explosions, and there were. You see a lot of people in said explosions get fucking sent flying to the point where I'm like, dude, like, there was like 3 explosions in the movie where like somebody was nearby, like obviously stunt actor or whatever, and it's like, dude, you would have gone fucked up if you were that close to explosion, right? Holy shit, man. So was that intentional? But it happened like 3 times in the movie, right? Where the where there were like explosions like right next to people, right? So it's like, holy fuck. I guess that was intentional, right? But yeah, that, like, yeah, there are scenes in the movie where, like, you know, the Soviet pigs launch attacks, and, like, you know, Chuck Norris' character Hunter, armed with with his black pickup truck and 2 I think they're called MAC-10s, the machine pistols, go out and stop them. Like, there's a scene where they try to blow up a church at night, and this is at the point in the movie where the National Guard are patrolling the streets, and you still have people going out to church and stuff. It's like, dude, like, why the fucking state's under, like, you know, martial law, and you have people like going out, man. That was so dumb. But yeah, like, the Soviet pigs tried to blow up a church, right? And for some reason it's not working, right? And then Chuck Norris is standing on top of a rooftop with the bomb. He's like, "Hey, it's not working, eh?" Drops it in front of him. It will now. Lights the you know, activates the bomb, you know, with the fuses, right? Yeah, and there's also a scene where, for some reason, the same, like, you follow the same, the one family that went to the church, you see them, like, put their kid, that family and other families put their kids on a bus to send them, like, to the countryside. There's a school bus full of kids, and the terrorists stick a C4 bomb while it's on the highway. Stick a C4 bomb onto the bus, right? And Lone Wolf McCade, sorry, Hunter, aka Chuck Norris, grabs the bomb, drives his truck right next to it, attaches the bomb onto the truck and, like, onto the car, and it explodes, right? So I'm like, how the fuck does he know about all these plans, right, that they're pulling off? Because, like, earlier in the film, you see him, like, find some of the Rostov's men and then interrogate them, right? Pick them up and interrogate them, right? So, like, is he doing that off screen? Right? And for the finale of the film, which I thought the finale was pretty cool, Hunter, Chuck Norris' character, stages his own arrest, right? And at the same time, the military was planning, like, a meeting, right? And the fucking bad guys think, we're gonna attack the building, right, where all the leaders are meeting, right, to discuss what the attacks, right? Turns out it was a trap by Hunter and the National Guard, right? So I thought that scene was cool, but even then, like, they they had them in a fish in a barrel, pretty much, and you still have, like, this long drawn out, like, firefight with the bad guys after they realize, oh shit, it's a trap, let's get out of here. And the National Guard is surrounding them with tanks and shit. They should have been all been dead, all but then dead in the first 10 seconds that they shot back, right? Because they were out in the open, right? And the National Guard had tanks, fucking machine guns and everything, right? They should have been dead within the 10 seconds, right? Yeah, but yeah. And there's like one last, like, you know, showdown inside the building with Chuck Norris and Rostov and a few of his goons, right, who are still hiding in the building. So that's the movie. What did I think about the movie? I thought the action scenes were not the greatest. There is a cool scene at a mall where some of the bad guys take a woman hostage, right, and drive off in a Nissan truck or whatever, and she's like she's hanging off the side, right, of the truck, and Chuck Norris gets into a Mustang, which is, I guess, is the female reporter's car, which she's also along for the ride as they chase this truck, right? I thought that action sequence was actually pretty good, and I was actually it wasn't like a scene, you know, during those kind of stunts, usually they replace the actors with stunt actors or whatever, and a lot of times it's guys in wigs. No, it was an actual woman hanging off the truck while it's driving. So it's like, holy fuck, they actually found like a female stunt lady to actually do that. Wow, I was actually impressed, right? Yeah, I was actually impressed. Also, like, Chuck Norris co-wrote this film. Co-wrote the script, but didn't come with the story. Which apparently there is a 1950s Invasion USA film. I don't know if this is like a remake or anything. I doubt it. Which there's a scene where, like, you know, Chuck Norris is watching movie, an old like 1950s movie, right? But it's like with aliens. So I wonder if, like, is this supposed to be like a remake or they just took the name? I don't know. Right, but like, yeah, what did I think about the movie overall? There was like some action scenes I actually liked, but like overall, I didn't like the action scenes in the movie, right? And when it comes, I love how in the description of this movie on Tubi, they're like, "Oh, martial arts master." The only martial arts, like, you know, Chuck Norris does in the movie is he does like one judo flip. One judo like throw, and he did, like, you know, he did like a lot of kicking people in the face, which is highly effective. But that was the extent of his martial arts, right? Which I'm not saying wasn't cool. They were nice kicks, but they weren't exactly on Van Damme level, right? But they were, yeah, like I could, like, I don't know how tall Chuck Norris is. I don't think he's that tall, honestly. I think because he looked very short when he was in like Expendables 2, right? And you know, he in that famous scene he did with Bruce Lee, where he fought Bruce Lee, like, they were around the same height, right? Which there's a guy in this movie, one of the terrorists, looks like Bruce Lee, and like, you know, looks like Bruce Lee, and like Chuck Norris shoots him, right? So I'm like, was that guy? I don't know. Which his name was like Zoya or something, right? Which is like, what the fuck? You have this? Was that guy supposed to be Japanese when he speaks like Spanish and English throughout the fucking movie before he died, right? But yeah, overall, I thought it was a fun action movie. Right, and you could tell, like, this movie actually had some budget, but overall, you know, I wasn't really impressed with some of the lines, like like some of the action lines that Chuck Norris had. That definitely wasn't the level of, like, you know, Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger, or even, like, you know, Van Damme. But you know what, like, if you're a fan of Chuck Norris, which I'm not, honestly, I would say, yeah, check it out. But yeah, if I were to give this movie a rating, I would say it's a 6 out of 10. But like, you know, it was a decent movie. It's worth watching, and like Richard Lynch did a good job, right? So yeah, that's it. Peace.